Self-care is important. It's not just about taking bubble baths or pampering yourself. Self-care is about recognizing the need to make sure that you are meeting the needs you have in order to stay healthy. Now, there are 4 types of self-care that I want to cover really quickly. You have physical, emotional, social, and spiritual. Physical self-care is about making sure that you're doing the things that you need to do to keep yourself physically healthy. The things you need to do to make sure that you're keeping yourself physically healthy. Some of these things include making sure that you're eating right, that you're drinking enough water, that you're getting enough sleep. Pretty basic, right? But how often do we find ourselves neglecting those things? You have emotional self-care. Emotional self-care is learning how to deal with stress, is learning how to manage the different emotions in your mental well-being. It's about learning to accept help and not being afraid to ask for help when you need it. Social self-care. We are social creatures. Even introverts who need their downtime to recharge still need social interaction. So what are some ways that we can work on taking care of ourselves socially? Reach out and call someone that you haven't talked to in a while. Don't just text them, actually try and call them. Or reach out and see if you can set up a Google Hangout or Zoom meeting so you can get some face-to-face contact, especially now when we're supposed to be distancing ourselves. See, they call it social distancing. And unfortunately, I think that has led to this belief that we're supposed to isolate ourselves. But isolation is dangerous. So instead of thinking of it as social isolation, think of it as physical isolation. But still finding ways to connect to people. And the last type of self-care I'm going to touch base on right now is spiritual self-care. Finding ways to feed your soul. Praying, talking to God, going to Bible study, reading the Word, doing the devotions. These are all things that I do for my spiritual self-care. And some of these things are overlap. Some of the things I do for my spiritual self-care include hiking. Because when I'm out walking in the woods, I feel closer to God. But when I'm out walking in the woods, I'm also getting some exercise. So I'm getting some physical self-care in there too. And it's also a way for me to be able to deal with some of the stressful situations and try to get out of my head. And so that's helping me figure out how to deal with some of the emotional self-care. Attending Bible study, it helps me feel connected to other people. Now when this is all over and we get to hang out with each other again, invite someone out to go for a walk. Then you're combining your social and your physical. And you're also going to be feeding into that emotional. So the thing to remember is that self-care isn't just about doing these extravagant things where we're pampering ourselves. Self-care at its very core is doing the things that we need to do every day to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. Think about the airline speech. In case of an emergency, place your own oxygen mask before you place someone else's. And the reason behind that is because if you're not taking care of yourself, you really can't take care of anybody else. If you are constantly pouring yourself out and giving to other people, but you're not putting any thing back into you, you're going to find yourself burning out, and then you're not going to have anything left to give to anybody else. So it's important to make sure that you remember to take care of yourself. not being selfish, but simply remembering to take care of your own needs.